Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wind Down Wednesdays. I'm your host, Paula Taylor, and this is episode 127. So, I have a very special show today. I am meeting with my friend Katie Bowers, who is an EFT tapping coach, and we're going to talk a lot more about tapping. I wanted to just talk about how Katie and I met and how we came up with this idea for what we're calling Tap and Tone, which is coming soon. So we were actually in a class together that was for business and money, and it was a very beautiful heart-centered class. And I noticed Katie right away because she has this beautiful glow about her. And then we started doing some trades, and I did some tapping with her, and she did some energy work with me. And it hit me very like a lightning bolt from the sky. I was at my microwave and I got this. I said, oh, we should combine what we do. It would be so powerful. And then right away, the phrase tap and tone came to me. And so we've been working on this for months now, preparing this, getting ready to do this. We're going to talk more about how you can join us and what exactly tap and tone is. But since most people who have been watching or listening to the show are probably familiar with me at this time with the guided meditations I do and the energy work and the toning, I want to have Katie talk a little bit about what tapping is because I was fairly new to it. I had heard of it. But one of the things that I find just from my perspective that's so powerful about this is that it is a somatic release practice. And we talk all the time on the show about how emotions and trauma are stored in the physical body. And the only way to fully release them is to release them from the physical body. And so I talk all the time about different tools for that. And I think tapping is an amazing tool for that. So I'm going to let Katie talk a little bit about what tapping is, maybe how she got interested in it, let her introduce herself to you, and then we will talk a little bit more about tap and tone. And for tonight's meditation, we're actually going to do a little introductory session of tap and tone so you can experience the joy of it because we're really excited about this. We've done a test run and it went amazing and people really liked it. So Katie, tell us more about yourself. Tell us more about what tapping is.
Hi, Paula. Yeah, I absolutely love tapping. I was introduced to it a couple of years ago. You know how sometimes you feel like someone's guiding you towards something? I'd heard tapping from several different sources, and I thought I really need to look into this. And I just really jumped out at me straight away. I absolutely loved it. So I signed up for a course, and I was hooked straight away. So tapping is, like you said, it's a mind-body connection. You focus on what's bothering you at the time. So it could be stress, let's say. You focus in on the stress and you tap on the meridian points, which are the energy flowing through your body. And basically, you're releasing any stuck energy. Um, and you can feel hot, you can feel cold, you can maybe yawn. Sometimes I'm yawning my head off when I'm tapping because I'm releasing all this stuck energy. Um, and it's just I just find it so powerful. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Well, and I will say we've done a few sessions together, and I had done a little bit of tapping just from watching videos or from watching people maybe on Instagram, kind of doing short tapping sessions. So I knew what it was, but it is so powerful. And it is really, you mentioned energy. I mean, that is my deal. I talk about energy all the time. There's lots of words for energy: ki, chi, prana. I just like energy because it kind of encompasses everything. But you mentioned the meridian points. So a traditional Chinese medicine is thousands of years old, and there's meridians throughout the body that correspond with all the different organs of the body. All the organs of the body in Chinese medicine are also tied to emotions, like the lungs are tied to grief. So tapping on these points, it makes total sense to me. What happens from a traditional Chinese medicine point of view is that we can get stuckness, stagnation, we can get holding in these meridians. And it gets very complicated. I love acupuncture. I thought about becoming an acupuncturist, but there you can have damp heat and dry heat and wind and all these different things. But essentially, the energy gets trapped. That's kind of the bottom line. And so by tapping on these points, and when we combine the tapping with what we're talking about in the mental space, because I talk about this all the time, most of us get stuck in the mental space and we're trying to release just from there and we're not getting it all the way out of the body. So then we think, why can't I ever release this? Why can't I let go of this trauma or this emotion or, this event that happened to me? And when we combine the tapping, we get that somatic release, we get that physical release, so that we're talking about things like limiting beliefs, let's say. Tonight, we're going to do releasing stress. That's our first topic that we're going to do on Tap and Tone, but we've got lots of ideas already in mind, and we're open to feedback. So feel free, leave us some comments, send us a message, and also we're open to having people work with us one-on-one. This is kind of the idea of this. I'm getting all excited. The idea of this is to bring this to a broader audience so that we can help you in a personalized manner through these tap and tone sessions. But also sometimes, like what happened to me is I met Katie. I really resonated with her. When we decided to do some trades, I have done such deep work with you and released some amazing things. And sometimes, just like what always amazes me about this work, just in general, energy work and body work, and of course, when we combine them, that's kind of, to me, the epitome.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get to the root of things that we don't even, how many tapping sessions, Katie? I've done at least 5 or 6 or maybe more at this point. Yeah. And I start out and I say, hey, this is going on. I feel like I've got this limiting belief about my business, let's say. And then it comes back to something that happened in my childhood where I was told I was not enough. And it's just mind-boggling to me the depths we can get to, especially in a one-on-one session when you're really dialed in. And Katie creates such a safe space. It's one of the reasons I think I was so attracted to her to begin with. Like, you just have this beautiful glow, and that's my thing. Let's claim our light, let's let it shine, let's create safety for people. So I'm so excited that we're doing this. And I want to talk a little bit about the tap and tone and how it's going to work, but I want to make sure, is there anything else you want to say about tapping or anything? I got a little excited. I don't want to take over totally. I finally have a guest. I should let you talk.
I would say you go really deep, but it's actually really gentle. And it's just, it actually has a really calming effect on your body as well. So you can be really stressed. And at the end, you go, oh, I feel really calm now. It has such a lovely, relaxing way about it. And as a result of that, you know how you're stuck on an issue or something? You think, oh, I don't know what to do about this. I'm just stuck. But then you calm down, you do some tapping, you calm down, you think, oh, obviously the answer's so-and-so. So it helps you find your answers as well, because you've calmed yourself down. And
that, it's so funny. We're touching on these because I feel like my show has these overarching themes. Like, if you go back and listen, and one of the things we talk about all the time is this idea of being gentle with yourself. And this idea of coming out of fight, flight, or freeze and into that ease response. So you can't make meaningful change when you're in that fight, flight, or freeze. The body just won't release when you're in that space because it's protecting itself. It's armored up. It's preparing to run or fight or hide, whatever it is. So that's an amazing point, is that, yes, this is very deep work. It's very profound work, but it's very gentle work. It's going to meet you where you are. It's not going to take you somewhere you're not ready to go necessarily.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're ready to go there, that's one of the things we talk about on the show all the time. And when I do meditations, I will give options. If you're ready to go here, let's go. But if you're not ready, that's okay. You don't have to go deeper than you're ready to go, because this is a gentle technique. And it sounds, sometimes when I introduce oxytocin breath to people now, sometimes I'll say I was a little snooty about this when I learned it, because I thought, oh, I know all these breathing techniques. This is too simple. It seems too simple. But really, this idea of coming into ease is the only way that we can really do this somatic release. So that's another amazing point about tapping and toning. All of this is meant to bring you into this easeful state, because that is where we are going to be able to release that trauma. It's funny, I was thinking just yesterday, I was thinking about how much more in ease I am just in my everyday life generally. Of course, I get stressed, and I had a very stressful day in my medical job yesterday. But as soon as the day was over, I did a little bit of oxytocin breathing. I pulled some cards, like I used my tools, and it was like I wasn't going to take that with me into the rest of my week. And I think that's another amazing thing about tapping and toning and all of this kind of mental somatic release work, energetic release work, is that it creates a new baseline of
Yeah.
of calm and ease. And from there, then we're not picking up so much that we have to release later.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, it's brilliant tapping in the moment. Yesterday, I had quite a busy day, and I got home and I thought, I just can't get to sleep. I'm buzzing. So I just tapped through everything that had happened through the day, and I was just trying to let it flush through. And then I was able to get to sleep so much quicker because my brain wasn't going round and round in circles. And
That
so
and that's
yeah,
one of our topics I think we're going to do is sleep. Yeah, because
yeah,
everybody
absolutely.
has issues with sleep. So, yeah,
Mm,
I there's really we're very excited about I'm saying we I know we're both
yeah,
very excited about this. Yes, and we really worked hard to create this in a way that was very thoughtful. So we'll
yeah,
talk a little bit about what to expect if you choose to join us on the more personalized tap and tone Zooms. So what we're going to do in tonight's meditation is kind of a generalized introduction. We're going to tap to release some stress, and Katie has already designed a pretty general script for tapping. We're going to tap through it, and she's going to talk a little bit more about where we're going to tap. She's going to describe while we're tapping where we're tapping on the body. So if you're listening to the podcast later, I'll also put some notes in the podcast about the points that we're tapping on. But it's very simple. All you have to do is follow along. I will be repeating, and if you're listening or watching this later, you'll be repeating with me and tapping with me. She'll say something, we'll say it back. Then we'll go into kind of the energy work and the toning part of it, which if you watch or listen to the show, we do that every week. But when we do this on our Zoom calls, our aim is to do this pretty much every other week, and we're trying to optimize times for both the UK and the US. That's another amazing. It's so great to collaborate with someone in another country, but it does create some kind of time constraints.
mm,
Well, what we're going to do, and we've done a test run of this and it went amazing, is that
yes,
you will get a personalized tapping script because we are going to check in with everyone. And through the Zoom chat, you will be able to share how do I feel this emotion? Like, for instance, for stress, for me, it's usually, I feel it in my chest or in my throat and it feels like a tight fist. And so then Katie actually incorporates that into how we're tapping. So in the full version of this, we do 2 rounds of tapping. We start with a short meditation. Katie takes over. We do the tapping, and it's amazing to watch and I've experienced this personally when I've worked with her one on one. I might say my stress level is at a 6. After 1 round of tapping, it might be down to a 4. After the second round of tapping, it might be down to a 2. And then we bring in the energy work and the toning, and the idea behind that part of it, and kind of how this came to me when I first started doing the tapping was like, this is such a beautiful way to seal this practice because we're releasing through the tapping, and then the energy work comes in and it just picks up anything that's sort of left in the field that's maybe slightly unresolved, or anything you brought up. We're just going to use that energy to kind of bring that down. We're going to use that toning like we do every week in the show to kind of bring that ease response, to encourage that relaxation. And so I encourage you, we will be sharing here in social media. We're going to start doing this. We'll be doing it once during the week, and then probably the first Saturday of the month-ish, but that may change. So we'll be sharing that. We'll be sharing the links to sign up for that. And it's just, I'm really excited about this and where we're going to go from here. And
yeah, me
before we
too.
jump into the meditation, Katie is going to talk a little bit about the tapping. Is there anything else you want to say about the tap and tone, or just about this experience before we kind of get into how we're going to do this?
No, I love putting these two together. I think it works so beautifully. Like you said, it's like you can focus on an issue, tap on that, and then that lovely, like, softening the edges almost. It's just beautiful. Yeah, I love the combination. Mm. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Me too. All right. So I'm going to let Katie talk a little bit about where we're going to tap before
Mhm.
we get into the meditation, which tonight the meditation is tap and tone. And believe me, it's an amazing experience, and I'm very excited to bring this to you. I'm okay. I'm gonna just I'm getting so excited and I'm getting off, but I want to make sure that we focus on what we're doing. So Katie, tell us a little bit about where we're going to be tapping on the body.
Okay, so we start with the setup point, and you tap on the side of your hand. Okay, and then we say three sentences. Basically, we're acknowledging where we are at right now, and we're accepting where we are. We're accepting we're stressed. We're accepting we're tired. Anything we're feeling, we accept that, because if you deny something, it just keeps telling you until.
What we
So
resist persists. Yep.
exactly. So if we acknowledge it's there, then we're saying we hear you, we notice you, and we're going to work on that. And then you can just disappear. And thank you for letting us know you're there. So then we tap on the top of the head. It's all very gentle. And then on in between our eyebrows, we just tap gently there. The side of our eyes, just really gently. Then on the bone under our eyes, tap gently on there. Then under our nose, there's like a dent. You just tap gently on that dent. Then under our mouth, there's like a crease. Just tap on that. And then on our shoulder blades, just underneath the bone, not
Collarbone.
shoulder blades, sorry, collarbone.
Yeah. You're doing a great job of describe. It's actually making me calm, just like doing the little, doing the tapping
And to
example. It's
sleep.
already making me calm.
So then, onto your arm. For females, it's where your bra strap is. For blokes, it's sort of halfway down your ribs on the side. And then I like to tap on these points. So you sort of use two fingers and a cross there.
So center of the wrist on the palm side
Yeah,
of your hand, just below
that's
your
right.
palm. Yeah.
And that covers quite a few meridians, actually. And then if you hold your hand like this, and on the top, where your nail and your skin touch, just
So on the
gently tap.
thumbnail, right where the,
That's it.
yep.
And then on the next finger in the same sort of place where your nail and your skin meet,
So we're just going basically from the thumb and then tapping each
working
finger.
down
Yeah.
each finger. So to your middle finger, and then your ring finger, and then your little finger. And then that's one round. And we incorporate that with the words of how we're feeling. So when we do the setup statement, I then repeat a shorter version on each point. So it's just keeping you focused on the issue at hand, so that your mind is thinking about the issue, your body's sensing the feelings, and then it gives it the opportunity to release those feelings.
And it does sometimes bring up feelings, and I say this all the time on the show and all the time in the meditations. Feelings are meant to flow. Feelings are meant to come up and be released. If you need to take a deep breath, you can use that oxytocin breath that we're going to start with, that we use every week. This is a gentle, we're doing a gentle topic here, or fairly gentle stress, because we want to introduce this in a way that feels really safe. But even in the test that we did, one of the people said they were a little surprised. They got a little bit emotional. And that's the release. That is the release. So let the emotion come up. You are safe. We are holding a safe space for you. If you ever feel like you need more assistance, you can reach out to either one of us one on one. Of course, you can consult a mental health professional. Nothing we do here is meant to replace working with a licensed mental health professional, but for most of us, what you'll find is that this is just a really nice way to come into the relaxation. And if
Yeah.
emotion comes up, that's part of the process. That's part of
Yeah.
that little bit of energy that needed to be released so that you could come back down into that state of
Yeah.
ease.
If it does become overwhelming, then please just take responsibility for yourself and maybe stand up, walk around, see what you can see, notice what you can touch, bring yourself back to the here and now and that you're safe.
And
So,
that's
yeah,
something
please
I
take
say all the time. If you need to get up and move around,
yes.
sometimes it's just we're not in the space for it. So you can always come back to this. Like every show I do, this will be here. You can come back. You can repeat it as many times as you want. You can make this into a practice. Because who doesn't need to release stress pretty much every day? It's a great practice I think to do at night, especially to kind of let go of that
Yes.
stress.
Yeah,
So
before bed.
when we get into the meditation, we're going to start like we always do. I will guide you into just a very brief kind of breath work and grounding. Katie will take over with the tapping. You will hear me repeating back. That is an important part of this, to say this out loud. So you will be tapping, and then along with me, we'll be repeating back what Katie says. After we get through our round of tapping, we'll take a couple more deep breaths, and then we'll bring in that beautiful energy, that toning, just to kind of bring anything that needs to be released, we can release out of the field. If you're watching the video, you might actually see me moving my hands a little bit. Whenever I do this every week, and I don't think I've ever said it before, I am a Reiki master, and Reiki transcends time and distance. So when I am doing these meditations, I am doing basically group Reiki sessions on anyone who ever listens, because the energy comes through. And that's one of the reasons I love to combine the meditation with the energy work and the toning and now the tapping. We're just adding tools. We're adding
Yeah.
these tools to live a better life, to live a more relaxed life, which is a more joyful life. And I think that's what we're all here for. That's what we're aiming for. No matter what sometimes I get very esoteric on the show, and we talk about divine service, and we talk about our purpose and claiming our light, and that is what feeds us spiritually. But at the end of the day, we can't do any of that if we're in that fight, flight, or freeze. So coming into the ease response is a huge step in that spiritual journey that we are on together. So yeah. So let's meditate together. So for this tap and tone meditation, you will want to sit up if at all possible. It's just easier to get to these points while you're sitting up. You want to be engaged here. And then at the end of this, if you're in a safe space and you'd like to lie down and go to sleep, you're more than welcome to do that. So find a comfortable position. If you're seated in a chair, you want to have your feet on the floor, have that beautiful support of the earth. You might want to make sure you have something to lean back against. Just be nice and comfortable here. And then we're going to begin, as we almost always do, with 3 nice deep oxytocin breaths. We're going to let that breath float in through the nose, and then we're going to sigh it out with that audible ha sound. And go ahead and do that 2 more times. And once more, begin to notice where you're feeling any stress in your body, where you're feeling any tension or discomfort. Maybe your body's asking you to move a little bit. Maybe you're shrugging your shoulders once or twice, just coming fully present into the body here. This might be the first time all day or evening that you've checked in with the body. So just be aware, those areas where you're holding tension, you're probably holding some of this energy of stress. And our purpose here is to release that energy. Let go of any judgments that come up. If you feel like the stress isn't ready to be released as we're tapping, as the toning comes in, that's okay. You can repeat this as many times as you like. Be gentle with yourself through this process as we work to release this stress. We want to be easeful with this. We don't want to increase our stress as we focus on releasing it. So, anytime during this process, if you need to take a nice deep oxytocin breath, that's a beautiful way to release some of that energy. And let's just spend one more moment here before we start our tapping. Focus on your connection to the ground now. Focus on the feeling of your feet on the ground, on the earth. Imagine that you're digging your toes into some beautiful sand on a beach or some beautiful soil in a garden. You're in a really safe and beautiful space. The earth is supporting you here. You can feel your body starting to grow a little bit heavy and more relaxed. You can feel that beautiful support of the ground beneath you. And then gently allow that crown chakra, the top of the head, to open. Invite in that beautiful love and light that we work with every week. Let it come in through your head and down through your neck and your throat, into your shoulders, through the arms and hands, down into your chest and upper back. Let it come into your abdomen, mid back, your low belly and low back. Let that beautiful energy flow into your hips and your pelvis, down through your thighs, into the knees and the lower legs, all the way down to the ankles and feet, so that you're connected from that beautiful light of that spiritual energy down through that support of the earth, fully supported in this process as we step into our tapping.
So, on the side of the hand. Even though I have this stress in my body,
I have this stress in my body,
in my neck and my shoulders,
in my neck and my shoulders,
in my chest and in my stomach,
in my chest and in my stomach,
and anywhere else in my body I might be feeling it.
anywhere else in my body I might be feeling it.
I accept how I feel right now.
I accept how I feel right now.
I give myself compassion.
And I give myself compassion.
Even
though
my to-do list is so long,
my to-do list is so long,
I just can't relax.
I just can't relax.
There's just too much to do.
There's just too much to do.
So much to juggle.
So much to juggle.
I accept how I'm feeling right now.
I accept how I'm feeling right now.
And I give myself compassion.
And I give myself compassion.
So even though there's just not enough hours in the day,
even though there's just not enough hours in the day,
I'm feeling quite overwhelmed.
Feeling quite overwhelmed.
Really worried about a variety of things.
Really worried about a variety of things.
I accept how I feel right now.
I accept how I feel right now.
And I choose to see this stress from a different perspective.
And I choose to see this stress from a different perspective.
So on the top of your head, really gently. Feeling stressed.
I'm feeling stressed.
Your eyebrows. My to-do list is so long.
My to-do list is so long.
Side of the eye. I feel irritable and tired.
I feel irritable and tired.
Under the eyes. Having trouble sleeping.
I'm having trouble sleeping.
Under the nose. My jaw is tight.
My jaw is tight.
Under the mouth. My shoulders are tense.
My shoulders are tense.
On the collarbone. Just can't relax.
I just can't relax.
Under the arm. There's just too much to do.
There's just too much to do.
On the side of your arm like this. How am I going to get all of this done?
How am I going to get all of this done?
On the thumb. All of this tension in my body.
All of this tension in my body.
On the finger, first finger. I'm so worried.
I'm so worried.
On the middle finger. I'm feeling really quite overwhelmed.
I'm feeling really quite overwhelmed.
The next finger. So much to juggle.
So much to juggle.
The little finger. Not enough time to do everything.
Not enough time to do everything.
All this tension in my neck.
Top of the head. All this tension in my neck.
On the eyebrow. All this tension in my chest.
All this tension in my chest.
Side of the eye. My stomach feels knotted.
My stomach feels knotted.
Under the eye. My body just feels so tense.
My body feels so tense.
Under the nose. I wish I could get to sleep.
I wish I could get to sleep.
Under the mouth. I just can't turn my brain off.
I just can't turn my brain off.
On the collarbone. So much to think about.
So much to think about.
Under the arm. Am I going to get it all done?
Am I going to get it all done?
So on the side of your arm. So much to juggle.
So much to juggle.
On the side of your thumb. My to-do list is so long.
My to-do list is so long.
The first finger. I'm so tired.
I'm so tired.
And the middle finger. I haven't got much energy left.
I haven't got much energy left.
Next finger. But I can't get to sleep.
But I can't get to sleep.
And finally on the little finger. All this stress in my body.
All the stress in my body.
Sit down and take a nice deep breath.
And then checking in with your body, noticing any shift, acknowledging that stress gives us the awareness to begin to release it. So notice any shift, let go of any judgment. Maybe you don't notice any change. Maybe you feel calmer. Maybe you feel more relaxed. Maybe you feel a little bit more like that energy is flowing freely. And now inviting some energy, some sound into this space. Just being receptive now, taking any deep breaths as you need to, allowing this beautiful energetic flow down through the head, through the torso, through the legs and feet, just releasing anything down and out of the feet, anything that is ready to be released. We can let go, we can send it into the earth to be recycled for the highest good. Calling in calm, calling in ease, letting go of that stress. any last bits of stress flow out and down. Maybe you feel like lying down now if you're in a safe space to do that. Maybe you're even ready to drift off to sleep. You've let go of that stress, of what you were holding on to today. Consciously now, set that intention. I release anything I've been carrying that no longer serves me. With love, without judgment, I release my stress. I step into ease. I step into ease. I step into ease. Ooh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Say, ah, yeah, oh, ah, yeah, oh. Say, how, 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 how. Say, oh, yeah, oh, ah, yeah. And once again, just checking in, noticing any shift, noticing some relaxation, some heaviness in the body, maybe feeling even a little bit sleepy here. And again, if it's safe to do so and you'd like to end this meditation by drifting off into sleep, let yourself do that. If you're coming back to the rest of your day or evening now, just be very gentle about it. We want to maintain this beautiful ease even as we come back to our day, to our evening, to the rest of the week, bringing this beautiful state of ease with you as you come back to your conscious mind. Checking in with the body again, maybe doing some gentle movements if that calls to you. Take a few nice deep breaths. Use that oxytocin sigh if it feels good. Or just breathe in through the nose and sigh it out silently through the mouth. Letting go of any last bits of tension that are holding on here, any last bits of stress. Gently beginning to move your fingers, maybe wiggling your toes. Inviting yourself back to the body, to the conscious mind. But again, bringing this ease into the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, the rest of your week. Take one or two more deep breaths here. Be gentle about this. There's no rush. And as you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Thank you so much to Katie for
Thank you.
being here, for sharing her light. It was amazing to be with you all in this easeful energy, and please join us as we move forward with this tap and tone. We'll be sharing the dates and the times coming up here. We would love to have you join us. Have a beautiful rest of your day or evening, and I will see you next week for Wind Down Wednesdays.